Happy Valentine's Day to you. I hope it's going to be a great day of a lot of expressions of love that you give and also that you receive. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, that is a love chapter. It doesn't just tell us about an emotional kind of love, it tells us how love is demonstrated. Verse 8 through 13 will tell you a lot about what love is. But at the end of that chapter it says, "Now abideth these three things, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love." Why? Because love never fails. So express love to one another. And there was a couple that came to the pastor, and of course the wife was all distraught, and she says, "My husband never ever tells me he loves me." Of course, this kind of upset the husband, and he spoke up real quick and he said, "Listen, woman, I told you 26 years ago I loved you, and if I ever change my mind, I'll let you know." Well, I don't think that's going to be quite a happy home, do you? Love. Well, some people say, "I'm better than that. I at least express love once a year, Valentine's Day." Well, that's nice. How big of you. But I'm glad God doesn't express His love once a year, nor in fact once a day. His love towards us is all the time. You know, that's the way we ought to be all the time, in a demonstration of love, blessing, caring one for another every day. You know, Valentine's Day got its start 250 years after the birth of Jesus. There was Saint Valentine's. He was a priest who loved to marry young couples that were deeply in love with each other. And so he was a person who, yes, he would marry them and they would go off their happy way. And that gave him great joy. But there was an emperor or a king at that time, Claudius. And he wanted a great army, but he couldn't enlist people that were married. So he put a law, no marriages. Well, that didn't set too well with old St. Valentine's, because he continued to marry people secretly. He got caught and was placed in prison. Now, while he was in prison, he didn't stop loving people. In fact, a guard came up to him and said, "Would you please teach my daughter? She's blind and they're not able to teach her anything. So if you would, I would appreciate that." He said, "Certainly." And he took that little girl in and he talked to her about all kinds of things in the world, things that would help her in life, as well as a faith in Jesus Christ. Eventually she said, you think that the Lord could heal my eyes?" And he said, "Most certainly." So he laid hands upon her and prayed God to heal her eyes. And you know, she began to see. It so thrilled the guard and of course his family as well. And the girl just fell over and over in love with St. Valentine's. Well, he was to be executed. And before he died, he wrote a little note to this young girl and said, "Keep faith in the Lord and know that I love you. Yours, Valentine." When she got the note, she read it, and that very day he was executed. And that was February the 14th. I believe that which he expressed to couples then is, I believe, the counsel that we need to give couples today. Things such as, well, when I counsel someone, especially young couples, I say, "Would you lay down your life for this person?" And of course, they got stars in their eyes. They look at each other and they smile and said, "I sure would." Now get what I said, and I'll repeat it to them. I said, lay down your life. That means there is nothing they can do that can stop your love for them. Oh, there's nothing that can stop my love for them. It's amazing. A couple of years maybe go by, there's an argument, a disagreement, and they're ready to call it quits. Well, that's really laying your life down. We need to really think about our relationships one with another and make sure it's bonded in love. Greater love hath no man than this, to lay down his life for a friend. Think about your love relationship in your marriage. Are you bilingual in your marriage? Now, what I mean by that is we all have our own language of love. But you know, our mates have a language of love also. My wife read a book, 5 Love Languages. And she told me that, hey, your love language, Tim, is serving. You serve the ones that you love. And I said, well, what's your love language? She says, well, I think my love language is words. So it gave me a better understanding that if I vacuumed the house or washed the dishes or did any dusting or worked out in the yard and did all that when she'd come in, I wanted to say, look what I did, as all husbands would. But she'd come in with her words and she'd say, oh, that's nice, that's nice. And I'm thinking, is that all I get with all this work that I've done? I've expressed to you I love you. But I understand that she receives that and she understands that and knows that I love her. But then in return, I've got to give what she wants, and it's words. And oftentimes, of course, every day, often every day, I love you. It's not a habit, it's an expression of how I really feel in my heart. But then sometimes she'll stop me and she'll say, tell me the ways that you love me. Tell me how much a gift I am to you, if you say I'm a gift from the Lord. In what ways am I that? So I realize that when I am spoken back to her about things like that I come back with answers. And those answers are rich and they're true and they're real. Love. Love is a language that is expressed from the heart. When your love life, or the love of your life, comes in to your presence, do you stop what you're doing? Do you turn the telephone off or stop texting? Television, turn away from it, even turn it off, and eyeball to eyeball look at each other as you talk, and as they express things to you, you take them to heart. I believe that when we have a marriage or a relationship with even friends, that we need to communicate. We need to have an open communication. Never yell at each other, unless the house is on fire. Or don't bring up past mistakes, because we all got them. Never go to sleep unless an argument is settled. One guy in my church a while back came up to me, he said, Pastor, I haven't slept in 2 weeks. I said, well, why? He said, well, my wife and I got into a fuss and never did get it settled. Of course, we laughed about it. I just told him, I said, hey, go ask her to forgive you because you know you're the one that made the mistake. And then also show affection. And if you've done something wrong, ask forgiveness, and by all means, forgive. Showing that affection. A couple came to the pastor one day and said, you know, Pastor, it just seemed like love has just gone out of our marriage. And expressed a few more things. Well, the pastor pushed himself back from the desk. He walked around. He stood the woman up. And he laid her in his arms. And he laid a real big kiss right on her lips. Set her back up again, and of course she was starry-eyed. And he looked at the husband and he said, now, she needs this. at least twice a week. Well, the old guy said, "Oh, all right. How about I bring her in here every Tuesday and Friday?" Get the point. Express it yourself. Don't let other people express things for you. Expressions of love is not just for couples. It's for friends. It's for parents. It's for people that you work with, your brothers and sisters. Expressions of love are needed. And they are. Even though they might not be expressed back to you, they are appreciated. They are appreciated. Walk in love. You know, you can't walk in love and be selfish at the same time. According to 1 John, if we walk in love, we're abiding in the Lord. And there's a song that we used to sing, "They'll know that we're Christians by our love." I want to have Jason Isaac to come in and we're going to play and sing a song about what I just said. We're free to love one another because we are so richly loved by our Lord. I am loved, I am loved, I can risk loving you for the one who knows me best, he loves me most. I am loved, yes we're loved, won't you please take my hand, 'cause we are free to love each other. We're loved. I said, if you knew, Lord, you wouldn't want me. The scars are hidden by the face I wear. He said, oh my child, my scars go deeper. It was love for you that put them there. So I am loved, I am loved, I can risk loving you for the one who knows me best, he loves me most. I am loved, you are loved, won't you take my hand, we are free to love each other, we're loved. We are free to love each other, we are loved.